All right, this is Kevin from Scamtastic 911. I actually just got scammed today, and but there was a good ending. So after I got scammed, I actually just went out and was telling my son about the scam, and he said, "Well, this doesn't bode too well for a person who runs a YouTube channel called Scamtastic 911." And I was like, you know what? I actually haven't done anything with that page in a while, so let me put this out there and tell him about my woes. Okay, so I'll give you some background. A person that I'm with on Facebook, it's one of those things where you met them a couple times maybe, and you become friends because they're friends of friends of friends. And about a month ago, they had a post about how somebody in their family was sick and had to downsize, get rid of a bunch of equipment. Like they had a lot of stuff. It was like ATVs, quads, yeah, pool tables, fridges, and washers and dryers, and a sectional and a bunch of other things. And at first, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that'd be cool, some cool things to get, but I don't really feel like spending the money at the moment. So I was like, no big deal. So then a month later, it actually just popped up again, and then our dog actually had ripped a hole in the back of our couch sectional. So I was like, oh, there's a nice gray one on here for sale. Let me reach out to her and see what she wants for this couch. I think she had the price on there for like 400, and I was like, oh, it's not that bad if it's in really good condition. So I said, hey, so then I direct messaged her like 4 days ago, never heard back, and then saw the post again, and then direct messaged her again saying, hey, let me know if you got this post. And she's like, oh yeah, what's up, Kev? How's it going? And then I said, oh, I was trying to get information about the sectional. And then she said, oh, well, if you're interested, let me know. She's like, I won't be back in town till the 15th. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm not going to come up to the lake probably until maybe next week sometime. So that should work out fine. And then she said, if you want it, you can send me a deposit and I'll hold it for you like I've been doing with other people. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I'm thinking, all right. I said, hey, I'll send you $50. And she's like, oh, can you pay 100? And I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess she just maybe wants 1/3 of the price to hold it. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Because I'm assuming this is the person that I actually know. Well, not really know, but sort of know. Friends all know her and she's part of the community. So I figured this is not a scam. I have checked out her profile, over 1,000 friends, and like 10 friends that we all know mutually. So I was like, all right, this seems totally legit. So then later this evening, I get another post from this person saying, oh, you'll see it on screen, but that something to the effect of, oh, I have another friend who wanted that couch also, and I didn't think she was really totally interested in it because she never gave me money. But she's like, if you pay the rest of the money, then I can say that you actually technically purchased it and it's not for sale. Then I'm like, that's a little weird. Like it's almost like she's trying to force more money out of me. It's scammy. So then I was like, so that was a red flag for me. And then I was like, okay. I was like, all right, maybe it's legit because I'm still thinking that this whole person is the same person that I know. And obviously it wasn't. So then I was like, all right, whatever. So I tried Venmoing her the other $200 to make up the $300 for the whole thing. So I probably should have known better. But then that wouldn't go through, and I was like, that's a little weird. And she's like, oh, let me know if you paid. And I'm like, and yeah, when there scammers are always trying to tell you, let me know when you paid, let me know when you paid, let me know when you paid. So that's another red flag. So then I was like, okay, this is really starting to get fishy. So then I started deep diving more into the person's profile and looking at it. And then still, I saw a bunch of friends that I know from up the lake. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. I was like, you know what, let me call one of them. So I called my buddy Jerry up, who's friends, and I said, he's like, oh, can I call you back? And I was like, I just have a real quick question. I was like, this person up the lake that they're selling a lot of items, and he goes, oh, that's a scam. And I was like, he's like, yeah, Sal got bit by that also. And I'm like, what? I'm like, isn't that like her brother or cousin or something? Because they both have the same last name. And he's like, yeah, he's like, that's a scam. And I'm like, God damn it. I got scammed. I was like, I can't believe it. He's like, yeah, her whole account got hacked. And then I'm thinking, if your whole account got hacked, don't you go to Facebook and either try to get it back, or I know sometimes it's a pain in the ass and they can't verify it's you and you can never get it back, but like, wouldn't you at least tell them somebody took it over and is trying to scam people? Especially if somebody else got scammed, why would they not have this whole account locked down, and it wouldn't even be there for me to then get scammed by? Because you leaving it up there gives it legitimacy. So it was a little bizarre. So then I'm like talking to my wife, and I'm like, shit, I just got scammed, and I was like, God damn it. So then the lady comes back and says, well, here's a whole nother Venmo account you can pay. And then I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to try to reverse this on her. I'm going to try to just be like, hey, if your friend wants it, it's no big deal. I was like, she can just have it. Just give me my money back. And she's like, oh, what happened? And I'm like, hey, if your friend really wants it that badly, she can have it. I mean, your own fake story now just bit yourself in the butt. She can have it. Give me my money back. And I was like, maybe I'll check out some of your other items. So now I'm playing on to her greed to get more money out of me later, which I was hoping that wouldn't backfire and she would say, oh, well, just hold your deposit if you want something else. So I said, refund my money, and then we'll just call it a day, and I'll check out some of the other items because you have some really cool things on there that I might want to get. So then she's like, oh, I tried and it's not working. She's like, oh, Venmo must be down because you tried to pay me and it wouldn't work, and I tried to pay you, it wouldn't work. And I'm like, okay. So then I lied and I was like, oh, I just a minute ago just gave some money to one of my kids, so I know it's definitely working. So then she must have cobbled together, he, she, whoever it is, some other nation, I don't even know, put together this screenshot that said refund one at the top of it. And I was like, pretty sure my name is not refund one. And I was on the verge of just being like, listen, you scamming motherfucker. But I didn't. I just kept on going with it. And then she eventually, he, she, whatever, eventually actually sent me my money back, I guess, in hopes that maybe I'll purchase something else. And then they said, oh, I understand that you're probably worried about scams. She's like, but you have my home address, so you know it's legit. And I was like, well, I don't recall you giving me your home address. She's like, oh, sorry, I thought I did. So she gives me the address of the person whose account it is really, because she has all that information, I assume. And then I'm like, okay, no, that's fine. I was like, I appreciate it. Thanks for the money back. I was like, I'll definitely be checking out some of your items later. I was like, just got to find the time to figure out, see what I got, and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay, thumbs up. And then then, like, actually minutes ago, she texts me again and says, hey, if you could help out by sharing this post, that would be great. And I was like, no problem. So after I got the money back on Venmo, I immediately blocked that account. I did open up a ticket with Venmo to get my money back, even though I did get my money back. I guess that'll probably work its way out. And I told them the other account that she tried to scam me with. And then I did go on Facebook. And I did report that whole profile is a total scam. They don't let you put any words in there to kind of be really angry and give them some what you're feeling about. But so red flags on this one should have been that I saw the post again with it not really changing much with the items. And then when you offer to give a certain amount, they bump it up on you. And then obviously when they try to tell you, give you some sob story about how somebody else wants it and they need it paid in full, that's another one. And I also kind of got bit by this, where it was the person helping out with the selling was saying she was doing it for her sister-in-law. And then when I went to go pay Venmo, it was a totally different name, which is the, I assume, sister-in-law, and that's why it didn't match up. I guess that should be another red flag, that you should not actually pay a total different Venmo account than the person's name that you're actually chatting with about it. So lesson learned on my side also. And that, I guess, Venmo does actually have a little payment protection thing on there that says the seller will get dinged monetarily wise. I'm assuming if I activate that little option and I pay them $100, maybe they only get 98. But I would assume that would probably anger the other person. I'm not sure how that really works, but yeah. So Facebook account hacked, totally taken over, bogus things for sale, don't get sucked in like by it like I did. So yeah, always learning about these scams. That was a new one, and it was kind of shocking with the total takeover of the account. Usually, I'd expect it to be come from an account that was like, oh, I got 50 friends, and they're all people from God knows nothing in common with each other. And then those are the ones that really flag you, but not somebody who has been on Facebook for years and their account got totally taken over, and then they had this scam running for like 2 months. That didn't make any sense to me, and that's how I think I got kind of sucked in. But eventually, the red flags started building up, and finally went off in my head. And thank God, I actually suckered that person back in again with their greed to get my money back. So it's Kevin for Scamtastic 911. Don't get bit by this one like I did.